Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Do you know what today is? It's our Impact Week. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live, honored, excited, and ready to speak with you all today. My name is Cornell Gorman, co-founder, COO of Gift. We also have online with us today Brendan Calloway, CEO, co-founder of our organization Gift, and our chief of business development, Karis Harrington. We are extremely excited and some very, very special guests along with us. We're going to introduce them here in a second. But yeah, really, really quick. Wanted to go ahead and say thank you for being on. We're excited. This is our Impact Week. Brandon, do me a favor. Explain to everybody what is Gives Impact Week.
Yeah. So, if there's anybody out there that don't know who, if this is the first time you've ever come across Gift and don't know what we do, I just want to say that well, one, thank you for watching this. And two, what we do is pretty simple. We raise money. We give grants out to Black-owned businesses, specifically East of Truce, right here in Kansas City. And so this week, we are talking about the impact that we've had. And just a little under 2 years. And so we've been able to give out over $500,000 to 40 different Black-owned businesses, and through those businesses have created, a few jobs in the city. And so what better way to talk about the impact of that than to have the individuals who are really the ones doing all the hard work that we just get to ride their coattails and say, hey, look what we did. When really they the ones make us happen.
Work.
Right. So we wanted to bring in people from various parts of our timeline, right? We've been around for a little while, so some recent grant recipients, some of our very first grant recipients, and just talking about the process of Gift and their experience with the program, and really just all throughout this week we're going to be talking to various different groups of people about the impact that Gift is having on the community. So stay tuned. And this week or today we are specifically talking to a couple of our grant recipients. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Karis. So to one, introduce yourself, and then also introduce our magnificent grant recipient panelists.
Yes, well, I am super excited. I share both Cornell and Brandon's excitement to be with you guys today. My name is Karis Harrington, and I serve as Chief of Business Development for Gift. So I get the pleasure of really, really getting to intimately know the businesses that we help to provide grants to. So I feel like I get the best part of everybody's job. It's me. It's all about what I love, and I love small business. I love small Black-owned business, and I want you guys to just hone in real quickly. We have a couple of OG vet businesses here that have been in it for a while that we had the privilege of awarding grants to last year, and then a couple of our newer businesses that are just making some great strides. I want to start with introducing Chef Ezra England, Casey Cajun. I want you to just say hello to everybody. We're going to talk about some impact that Gift has had, some opportunities that we have been able to help you with. I'm going to move from Chef Ezra to Mr. Mike Rolland of Ophelia's Blue Vine. If you don't know what Ophelia's Blue Vine is, number one, you're not eating healthily enough. But you also are missing a huge opportunity to watch someone grow. And I know that sounds really cliche because he grows for our community, but it's really been a pleasure to watch his business. Then we're to go, and we've got Miss Jill Arnold from First Priority Heating, Cooling, and HVAC. She is missing her business partner and also her husband, Tim. We want to virtually say hello to him and extend just our gratitude for you being able to join us today. Then we've got Miss Denisha Jones, Sweet Peaches Cobblers. And again, it's early. We've got some amazing, I don't know, I'm having food memories right now. Y'all are just creating flashbacks for me. So let's toss it back to Chef Ezra. Please introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everyone. My name's Chef Ezra. I'm the owner of Casey Cajun Food Truck. And we are a food truck business that started in 2017. As Karis just said, we received our grant last year, which was very significant for us. Trying to survive through the pandemic and everything. So that's a little bit about our business. As far as the grant, it was very, very, very helpful for us to basically expand our operation. It allowed us to expand from a food truck into a brick and mortar location that we have that we're hoping to get our grand opening sometime here in late March. And it's located at 3510 East 27th Street. So that was real pivotal for us in allowing us to do that. Um,
That's awesome, Chef. So can you just say a little bit about, I think you talked about what the impact to your business was, but what were your options at the point that Gift was able to kind of step in and help provide some fundings? What other options did you have?
Right. We had just the traditional options. Not we didn't have a lot. Just normal, traditional small business financing through conventional lenders such as our normal banks, and AltCap. That was another lender that we were working with. But we really didn't have a lot of options as far as trying to secure that capital, which, of course, as we all know, is small business owners is a common issue that we come across. So for us, it was real pivotal in allowing us that opportunity to secure the funds and also expand our operation into the brick and mortar where we're currently looking at, where we're currently located. So it was real pivotal. It was real crucial that we had that opportunity. And going through the application process it was very simple. It was pretty much like a stand-on interview, just like you would do kind of like a job interview, just straightforward information, real friendly, real down to earth questions, and nothing out of the ordinary. So it was very pivotal for us and very crucial that we secured that grant.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great feedback for us as well. Mr. Mike Holland, how are you again?
Good. Good morning. I hope my
Good
voice is
morning.
okay. I'm a little under the weather, whatnot, but fighting it. And you can hear me okay, right?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I couldn't
And I
find
want
my
to
help.
pose, no,
Uh-huh.
you're good. You're good. I want to
Uh-huh.
pose the same question to you. Kind of tell us a little bit about your business and then talk about what kind of impact the grant was for you or had on your business.
Okay. So I'm Mike Rowland, owner of Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm, and we specialize in fresh culinary herbs, which is a bit of a niche. We're doing something really in Kansas City, like urban farming that hadn't been done before. We didn't start last year. Actually, we started 7 years ago, just growing on vacant lots in the city, and selling that produce at one market, at the Ivanhoe Farmers Market. We had a CSA where we do collards, we do onions, and we did that for a number of years. And it was really out of the pandemic, out of our need to really scale up and then really want to feed people. Other markets were closing down. Our market closed down that year, and I saw it as an opportunity to really try to scale up and try to help some people. So just doing what I could at that point. Everything was self-funded. Paid for and self-funded by myself at that point. Ridiculous amounts of money going out, but I had a passion to take a area of land that had been contaminated with soil and bring it back to life in the inner city. I just wanted to do a project to show that the area that I'm at, the 18th and Vine area, had so much history and so much culture to it. And I just felt passionate about that, and I wanted to do something with food, a rebirth of doing something different with food, just like jazz, 18th and Vine kind of jazz did with bebop, taking something that had taken one thing and then turned it into something else. So just out there, just started with the empty lot, clearing trees, built a greenhouse, and just started pushing out food, and got the attention of G.I.F.T, the wonderful organization that you guys are. And I couldn't believe it. The huge grant, huge amount of money, $30,000, game changer. Not just the money, but the network. So to put this in scale, I mean, we went from just selling to people in the neighborhood and selling to a small farmer's market, to being able to scale up and sell in 20 stores, 20 supermarkets of the area. So I think it's been hard. It's been a great opportunity, but through that, I look at it as an opportunity to employ people. We're using it as an opportunity to build Black generational wealth, but also everything in my family is service oriented. But just when you can really help people, employ people, giving homeless people just water and things like that, it's just a great opportunity to have a business and be able to comp something on somebody or help somebody out, and like everyone, I'm sure on the panel, everyone up here is passionate about what we do. I'm sitting downstairs in my studio. I didn't go to school for farming. Everything that was self-taught. My degree is in filmmaking, and as I tell people all the time, I can make $100 an hour just sitting down here editing video. So why am I? It's snowing the other day. Why is it? If it's a snowstorm, why am I working in a greenhouse? Why am I doing this? It's 18 degrees. Why are we out here fooling around? Because we love what we do.
Yeah.
And so, and when people come by and they see our plants and our mints and try our food, that comes across. And so, I just love giving the opportunity, to serve people. And G.I.F.T has gave me that opportunity, and for that I'll always be grateful.
That is amazing. I think you've shown the impact right there. My question to you was going to be, kind of similar to what I asked Chef Ezra, were there other options? Did you feel like there were enough options for a business owner like you without the assistance of G.I.F.T? But I think that you really spoke to that. And certainly we are super proud of the impact that you've had, again, not just on our community, but that is how you create generational wealth, right? So kudos to you for that. I'm going to toss it to Miss Jill Arnold, First Priority Heating, Cooling, and HVAC. Talk to us a little bit about your business and how the G.I.F.T grant impacted your business. And we may have a little bit of audio delay. I may just pause on that for 1 second and move over to Miss Denisha Jones. Y'all, if you haven't heard of Denisha Jones with Sweet Peaches Cobblers, definitely a must-have. Denisha, can you introduce yourself real quickly and just tell us a little bit about your business and how your business has grown since you received the grant?
Well, hello, everyone. First of all, it is an honor to be amongst such amazing people and amazing entrepreneurs. My name is Denisha Jones, and I am the owner of Sweet Peaches Cobblers, LLC, and we create delicious cobblers that are sold in local grocery stores. Currently, we are in 14 locations, and we're in 2 restaurants as well. We also travel with a barbecue fest around the United States, and we are continuously growing. We just received another great contract with another restaurant chain, so we're just ecstatic, and it would not be possible if we were not granted the gift of being a recipient for the $25,000.
That's awesome. And Denisha, can you speak to how long you've been in business? Because I think, again, the impact is there. Obviously, your business is growing, and you started this business when?
I started this business actually in 2020. And honestly, I had just finished school to be a behavior analyst. I was already a behavioral interventionist for many, many, many years. And I was just waiting to receive my licensing and to move forward. And when COVID happened, it kind of affected my current job in 2020 because I had 4 children, 2 of which I was birthed and 2 of which God blessed us with through adoption. And my oldest son he's a senior now, but then he wasn't. And he's autistic. He's a high functioning autistic. And my daughter struggles with some really challenging health impairments. So we were constantly having to take off and kind of alter the COVID restrictions for the schooling for our children. So at that point, it was becoming very challenging being able to make sure my children were still being educated as well as being able to hold a full-time job. And so the strain became very evident in my work. And so I was actually laid off on January 29th, to be exact, of 2021. And when that happened, I had just made a cobbler for my brother-in-law, and someone posted cobbler in Kansas City, Missouri. And from there, it grew like wildfire. And I just started participating in local vending events and opportunities. And I just went out on a limb and had faith and reached out to the Barbecue Fest to see. Now they have around between 30 to 50,000 people at each event. Even though COVID existed, it was an outside function, so they were still operating. And they were interested in my product, came to Kansas City, and it was on from there. But even now, I'm thankful because I'm able to still be in control of my children's education, their destiny, and run a business. And me working up under someone else, I didn't have that control. Like right now, and I'm so proud that my son is actually driving himself to his audition in Warrensburg at UCM to be a part of their orchestra. I wouldn't have been able to just take off if I was working for someone else. And not only can I take off, I have now been able to hire employees because of the program that I trust and can run the operations while I'm not there. So
that
that's
is
another
amazing.
benefit.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
So
amazing. And being able to grow enough to need employees and be able to help impact someone else's living wage. I'm going to toss it to Miss Jill Arnold right now. Thank you so much for that, Denisha.
You're welcome.
Jill Arnold, the first priority heating, cooling, and HVAC, one of our $25,000 grant winners. So Jill, tell us a little bit about your business and how the G.I.F.T grant award was able to impact it. And I think we may have a little bit of a technical, kind of a soft connection. Are you able to hear us?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry about the background noise. Okay. My name is Jill Arnold, and I'm part owner with my husband for First Priority Heating and Cooling. And we serve the greater Kansas City area and Kansas area. HVAC, actually, we install and service furnaces and air conditioning units and also hot water heaters. This has been a true blessing to me because they actually helped me to get one extra employee and another van where we could add on duct cleaning, duct cleaning service. That was something that was very hard for us to bridge over to because we were stuck. You know how you don't have money to make it to cross over that bridge? Well, that's where we were. We didn't have enough money to cross over to hire another employee to get the duct site up and going. That actually helped us, and now we're going to go full-fledged with duct cleaning along with the heating and cooling service.
That is awesome. That's awesome. That's so great to hear.
Was that Benny in the background, or because it's two stars? I know it's over there with you, Jill.
You know what? We have a commercial on Channel 9, and Benny and Bailey are both in a commercial, so that's who you heard barking in the background.
Yeah.
They're stars.
Tell them to say, hey, they part of the team. Got it.
Yes. So what else has been very helpful to us was you guys lended services to us, like someone to help with the website. Although we've been established since 2019 and we did have a website, they've enhanced, they've done a huge job. You guys also had given us Hush and Blackwell, attorneys to help us. They helped us with our HR part as far as hiring additional employees and a salesperson. So all that came into play with the other benefits, they've helped out tremendous to actually take our business to the next level now.
That is wonderful to hear. That is awesome. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for those introductions to your businesses and sharing the impact with us.
Yeah, for sure. So like in that vein, like as she talks about like the technical assistance like that, like what do you feel like has been the most helpful part as the G.I.F.T program in its totality, like from the assistance, the networking, the technical assistance, like what do you feel like personally has been the most helpful for you? Let's go back to Denise. She's ready. Talk to me.
Well, I'm in a great spot right now, and I'm not having any technical difficulties, so I thought I better go ahead and take advantage of that. I can't pinpoint exactly what's been beneficial because it's been a great benefit for the whole system itself. However, the accountant has been such a blessing, especially during
Yes.
this time of getting ready to end our fiscal year. And with QuickBooks, I come from working with Excel. Okay, so everything that I've done was in Excel. And me being, uneducated about QuickBooks, it has helped tremendously. Not only, has it helped with making sure that we have a difference between our contracted employees, our part-time employees, full-time employees, making sure that payrolls are right, making sure everything is accounted for from the exact penny, everything is accounted for. It's beneficial, like when we now have to have a workman's comp insurance. My end of the year statement is already ready. I don't have to go in and try to figure out those things because she's already put those things in place for Sweet Peaches Cobblers. And if it was not for that being a opportunity from the grant, I don't know where I would be mentally right now with having to do all of that, and trying to still maintain everything else with it. So I appreciate that. Thank you
Yeah,
guys so much for including that.
I love it. You know what? I do. I also so like getting the money, getting the donors in and handing it out. I feel like that would have made a big impact. But when we started, it was me, Brandon, and Chris, and we sat in that room and we were talking about different components needed. And Brandon was just very insistent on giving this other stuff. Brandon, could you tell me a little bit why you felt like more than grant money was necessary and needed, man?
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing I want to say is that I always get asked questions about like, oh, who do you guys pick? Who do you guys give grant? What types of businesses do you give grants to? How do you pick your grant recipients? And I know a few of you have probably heard me say like we are a nonprofit, but we're not a charity, right? We are not just closing our eyes and blindly throwing money at people. We like, as you can see today, we pick business owners who are worthy of it. Like we pick business owners who are out there killing it, who are great entrepreneurs, and who really just need that extra push that we can trust to say, hey, here's this money, go and do what you do to the best the best capabilities of you doing it. And so like, and I said that because that has always been our like mindset. Like I don't want to take Denisha away from making peach cobbler to sit her down and say, hey,
Yes.
you learn this QuickBooks. Like, no.
Yes.
Why and why would we do that? Right. So it's super beneficial to give these wonderful business owners a team of people that can help them with all of the stuff that is crucial to a business, but is illogical for one person to be doing all by themselves, and that is really one of the things that I have felt like would be beneficial to helping these businesses grow to their maximum capacity. And so I'm excited to hear that it's been so helpful, and that like that insistence was not in vain.
Yep. Anybody else got anything? Like, what do you feel like just gift and overall, what do you feel like has been like the most helpful part? And we might get some more account. People love Rhonda. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
People
Rhonda.
love Rhonda.
Yeah.
Love
We love
Yeah, we love Rhonda.
We love
Yeah.
Rhonda.
Yeah. I know Jill set the website. She loved that too. So yeah, shout out to those guys as
Love
well.
graphics.
Excuse me. I would say the networking, the continued partnerships and working relationships we've had just with other grant recipients, and then other resources that you guys have paired us with. So for me, I would say those continued working relationships have been the biggest, the biggest component for us that's been really helpful.
That's a great comment, Ezra. And I think, when I think about how to engage the community and there's no reason that, and again, of course, I'm a little biased, but there's no reason $10, if 15,000 people gave $10 a month, how would that impact small business? So I'm looking at the screen and I see how the dollars impact small business. Do you think what do you think about how the community responds to that in terms of the same community that we're serving and donor engagement? How do you think the community responds? What do you hear?
Well, from what I'm hearing, it's very receptive. One of the panelists were saying earlier, it allows us for one to hire new employees, and a lot of times we're hiring those employees in the communities where we're working in and where we have our businesses. So they see it direct hand, they see it firsthand that we're trying to make a change and starting, whether it be one employee at a time or two or three or four or 10. But it's starting in their community and they're actually able to see that, let alone with the presence of the business. So it may be incremental, but those things I think have a positive effect as long as it's something someone can see and visualize and pull some type of positive energy from.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I think absolutely the hooking up with the gift network and the awesome just the whole team, you know, from Hush Blackwell to the web designers to the super accountant Rhonda. I think I'll speak for myself. You know, I spend a lot of times, if you're an artist and that's what you do, if you're a farmer, you're farming, and so a lot of stuff, you know, you're not really like the QuickBooks and the business stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you're lacking, right? And so if you can bring on people who can help fill in that void, then you can go to the top, you know, and the faster you can do it, the faster you can go to the top. I mean, but it was a game changer for us, you know, because when people owed us money, I could look at those invoices and we could be like, hey, what's up? You know, we've got this money out. You know, you could track all of that to where if you're a mom and pop and you know, you're doing all this other stuff and you get a check and maybe you can't really read how it's breaking down. And so you're losing money. I used to do, I was horrible at tax. At the end of the year, I would print out hundreds of pages. Everything I purchased, I put on my business account and I go through with color markers and highlight the different categories. And then I would give it to the accountant. She'd be like, oh, this is, I mean, it was crazy, you know? But really looking at seeing, you could see different categories as who you're selling to, how much you're going out, like your payroll, all that stuff is in there. And then more importantly, it just, for me, I mean, it really helped us break down the numbers, you know, and when someone says, well, this is too high, then you could look at the numbers and you're like, the math doesn't lie. And I'm like, I wasn't even that good in math. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying that that's not going to work, you know, because you can break it down. And before that, you know, before I got introduced to QuickBooks, I really, you know, didn't have that type of, I couldn't see that. I didn't have that type of detail. So that was important. And then just checking in with people, and people are going to keep you, people are going to, you know, push you, keep you accountable, you know, for what's going on. But for me, you know, it's been a blessing, all of it, you know, but in particular, hooking up with the team and having the team ask you questions. Well, what about signage, or what about e-com? And so, because you'll find there's a lot of stuff that you're missing, you know, and as far as we were doing Facebook, we didn't even have a web page. Now our web page has videos, all the comments that people say, we want to see this, we want to see that, we want to do this. Now it has navigation. You can order on it. You can check out videos. And so, but that was a really key. And I was like putting it off, but I really wasn't, you know, I had to hear someone else, you know, tell it to me, you know, before I was like, okay, well, let's go, let's get it done. You know, we're not going to try to build it ourselves, because that's not what we do. I think a lot of times we say, oh, we're going to build it ourselves, and it gets half built or never gets done, doesn't have the functionality. You know, we're going to pay for that, get that done, and move on.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Jill, did you have something?
I think she may be frozen again.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we sure can now. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
I didn't. Okay, you're welcome. So as far as my accounting, I didn't have to use Miss. I heard how great she was. I was already using QuickBooks and already had my accounting. You know, I've been using this and set up. However, the biggest part for me was the legal services, the legal team. I did not have information for contracts um, for hiring people, and that was very helpful. Have the legal team come on board and help me with all the contracts I needed for subcontractors, for people that's getting commission from letters for employees. That the next thing that was very helpful was the guys at Soda Pop Graphics. They were, I mean, although I had a website, they enhanced it towards a clean, precise,
Mm-hmm.
more options on is colorful cards.
Jill, I think we're having
Been
some
very
technical.
helpful along with the team. You guys definitely helped move me along. And I can appreciate you guys help, me being an entrepreneur, dealing with other entrepreneurs, very helpful. You guys gave me some insight, some things that can help improve my business. And we're doing nothing but moving forward now. So you guys been a true blessing to me and my business, my husband. We just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much.
For
What do you
sure.
guys think about the grant process, the application process?
Like, was it tough? Was it difficult? Was you nervous?
It was easy breezy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
easy.
Was it intimidating?
It was
You know what I mean?
really easy.
Like we can only
Yeah, it was
imagine. We
easy.
can only guess what people are going through and try to combat that. Encourage people to sign up. Like, was it intimidating? Was it like, no, I see what they do and I'm gonna go for it? Like, what was that like? Mike, was you gonna say something?
I think it was one of the easiest forms that I've ever filled out. It's mainly because of like a lot of these other grant forms are built to, I mean, they want so much stuff, years of tax stuff, this, and you're uploading that, and then maybe the form they wanted in is not the right form, and so you have to convert it, or maybe, if you don't have it, it doesn't even let you take it to the next page, or it doesn't let you save it and do it later. And it's just, and I think maybe that's a bit of a weed out process too, because a lot of people who are really genuine and really, like I said, they're not, a lot of people aren't computer savvy, and to ask them to sit down there and look through all these documents and fill out this form, and they're going to look at that, and although they may have been, the grant may have been perfect for them, they're not even going to apply because it's just so many pages of stuff, that they may not know how to navigate that. So I think you guys did that on purpose, made it simple so people can, it's enough information so you can really get the gist of the company, the organization, how long they've been in business, the contact information, the website links, and some other stuff. But it wasn't so over the top that you would most people would have a problem navigating the form to submit.
Yeah.
Great feedback. That is our goal, to make it as easy and seamless as possible with no pain and no stress.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, anybody else? I was curious.
Oh, yeah. So I can agree with that. It was the point where I was able to finish it within a 2-day time frame. Like, I had to go get a couple of documents and scan it and something like that. But normally when I'm filling out applications, because I have a nonprofit before we did all this, and let me tell you, it took weeks before we could complete applications because they required so much information that we would have to wait on something to be mailed from either the IRS or the taxes. I mean, everything is more convenient now that you can access it because COVID. It's COVID friendly now, where you can access things or documents more easily and accessible than it was before. But the application was so simple that I was just able to look at an email or go to a website and get the documents that you needed and just scan them and input them into the application. I definitely would say, recommend anyone who's interested in applying, don't be intimidated just because it's an application. Any application that we fill out, we feel intimidated because of the odds of getting it. But the questions that you all ask, it's so personal and relatable that it's easy to do, because all you have to do is if you really have a heart for it, all your answers should be coming from your heart anyway. And that's the way the application is set up. It, for me, anyways, it was
Yeah.
set up that I could answer truly and genuinely from my heart about why and how this gift grant was very beneficial to our company.
Yeah. I
That
wanted
is
I,
great feedback.
I want to make a comment to what Crystal just said. She said she applied multiple times. Not that bad. She's gonna keep applying. Guys, I truly encourage you to do that. To we only have a certain amount of money. We only give out a certain amount of grants, and it is so tough. Like, and I don't. Y'all can cuss me out later, being curious.
No.
But yeah, but Jill and Denisha were in the same. Were in the same month, and we couldn't give them to both. You know what I mean? So we had to come back and give and grab Denisha later. So like, don't give up on us. Don't cuss us out.
But she's a
Don't hate
perfect
us.
example. Perfect
Yeah,
example right there.
yeah. Like, we are trying our absolute best. Is like, donate, share it out, show up, support. Man, we are doing our absolute best. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody?
And
So
stay encouraged.
one thing to say about that, like, and Karis can tell, we get so many grant applications a month, and like as like I tell people that our board, like, it's not that we say no to a lot of people, it's just a lot of people that we end up not being able to say yes to, right? Like, could you, luckily this didn't happen, but could you imagine if all four of these people, all four of these business owners right here was in the same month? Our board would, like, that board meeting would go on forever.
Oh,
Like, we'd be pulling out our hair talking about what we gonna do.
Yeah.
And but because we truly, like, when there is a an application that we can tell, they have sat down and they've put a lot of effort into it. It's a great business owner. They got the drive, they got the plan, and all they need is a little bit of push. Like, we absolutely want to be able to help them. And we went from, in when we're Mike and Ezra, like, super early on in the gift life cycle, we were giving out 1 grant a month, and now like, when we raise more, we do more, right? So we've ended up raising a little bit more money in year 2, and luckily, and we've been able to give out 2 grants a month, and that's where Denisha and Jill came in. And so just like Cornell said, if you're applying and you are somebody that we're just not able to say yes to at the moment, don't give up and throw in the towel and say, and turn away from gift. Because we genuinely want to do what we can to help the community. It's what we all about.
And because I just cannot let this point go, y'all know I'm a little extra, but I want to go right back to Denisha. The month that Denisha did not get awarded the grant, she has the interview. We try to make it an easy process, but of course it's stressful as a business owner when you have a need that needs to be met. It's the tenacity of business owners that can sometimes be the difference between the success of a business. We all have things, goods and services that we can provide. She showed up that next weekend to vend at our, y'all know I can't get off this without talking about our pop-up. I'm trying not to. She came right back. This is about the tenacity of a person, of a business owner. She came back and vended with us. She could have easily said, I can get the grant, I'm out of here, I'm packing up my cobblers, and I'm heading to the hills. But she didn't do that. Two reasons, I think, and then I'll ask her to speak to it. Number one, she is about her business and she knew how important it was. And as entrepreneurs, you have to have that tenacity, that dedication to your business that exceeds a couple of no's before you get to your yes. Yeah. Second of all, her entire heart is in her business, just like everybody else on the panel. When it is, just like Mike said, when it's your passion, you believe in it, you don't take no for an answer. So I want people, even if they don't, like Brandon said, if you don't get the grant the first time, I love the example of Denisha just because of that.
Yeah.
But I want
Chef Ezra also, though. Chef Ezra, we couldn't say yes to him in the first time as well. But yeah, go ahead, Denisha.
Yeah. But I just want Denisha to talk a little bit about what happens, because again, like Brandon said, we have 2 grants a month. Sometimes we are in deliberation meetings for hours talking about businesses. We'd love to be able to give as many grants as there are needs. But Denisha, what does that feel like on the other end to be like, well, I didn't get it. What caused you to stay consistent with us?
Well, first of all, I have faith. You know, a lot of what I do stimulates from the seed that was planted in my faith, you know. Um, and my father, which one of my cobblers is named after, Daniel's cobbler, he had this infamous saying to me whenever I felt like giving up on anything. I was in the all TC program. I felt like giving up because I wasn't getting, you know, the scholarship that I wanted, but ended up getting a full ride. I wanted to give up on the basketball team. I wanted to give because we was, you know, not the best team. I wanted to give up on certain things, and he would always say the same saying to me: "You need to do what you have to do to get it done." And that has carried with me throughout my whole life. So, in order for me to continue to prosper, I have to make sure I'm space. I have to make sure I'm staying consistent. I have to make sure that when I am told no, I still keep my foot on the neck of my business so I can continue to grow. And that is my, you know, that's something that I'm standing on 2022. Keep my foot on the neck of my business because I don't have a choice but to continue to strain and pull out things that were not seen, you know, for times before us as entrepreneurs. I'm making things happen because I have faith. And yes, I am going to stay in people's faces. Yes, I am going to be consistent. And I'm not going to let no define who Sweet Peaches is. So that's just me personally.
Great
So,
advice. Great advice. I love that. I
Chef
love
Esther, you got anything on like what it was like, you know, not receiving a grant and just you stay connected, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking ours kind of transform out of like a networking opportunity. I think you guys were coming to shoot some footage over there at our restaurant, and it kind of just evolved into a conversation. Brandon realized that we were kind of stuck in a bind. We're trying to get our restaurant up and running, so he kind of just reached out, and conversation just led to back and forth with what we were kind of dealing with, and he kind of made something happen where you guys were able to step in and kind of fulfill us with the grant. So for us, it was more or less a direct need that you guys saw just from just dealing with us just from a business perspective, and that turned into actually us receiving grants. So it just transformed from one thing to another, and the bigger picture kind of prevailed.
Yeah, that's we.
Awesome.
That's exactly like we need you guys too. So I thank you for being available, being willing to help us out without the grant money. You know what I mean? And if we need you to show up for something, you show up like now. You know what I mean? So we're extremely grateful for sure.
Yeah, I just like to stress, a lot of time people think working with business, you just working with brands, but it's all about working with people. So, and the bigger aspect of that is developing relationships that carry on outside, even sometimes when the business is done. So, and that's kind of the perspective we like to have, just have that open relationship, working with people and trying to invest in those people and seeing what we can do to make everything work out.
For sure. For sure. Right on.
Great.
Okay. Um, any message you guys have? Like, I kind of feel like that was a message to other gift recipients, and I appreciate it. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody, like, so let me just ask you straight up. Like, do you have a message that you would want to give to other grant applicants, people that's just applying? And on that note, we got some big, big, big news coming up very soon. I promise y'all don't want, like.
Wait, Cornell, say it one more time. Do the big one more time.
Yes, man. Big.
Big
time news coming up for our grant applicants. So definitely, man, y'all stay in the loop. We got the pop-up coming up, shameless plug. But do y'all have a message that you have for the grant applicants and just business owners in general? Jill, you got anything? Haven't heard from you in a minute.
Okay. I would say message to the people out there that are they're trying the application for the grant. Just believe in yourself and trust in your business as well. Sorry about that, you guys. So anyway, but trust your gut also. I was so excited when they called me to let me know that they had to talk to me. Of course, Karis had told a fib to me and said, "Oh, we need to talk to you," but she didn't tell me I was a winner. And I think
the whole liar,
when they called me, Okay, yeah. We got online. I mean, and they announced it. I screamed, I cried, I was so happy. It was just joys of tears. And this, I don't believe anything ever has ever happened to me like this. And I know that it had to be my faith in God that actually, I think they saw my heart. They saw my heart and in my business and wanting to help the community and everything. So it was a great experience, and I'm still overjoyed. I am, and one of the things that I would definitely tell everyone, pay it back, pay it forward. Actually, one thing that I did and I promised I was going to do this. Now that we have our website redesigned, I have them on my website where people go to my website first, prior to heating and cooling, and they could push donate on there, and it's going to take them right to their website to gift. So not only that, but I'm definitely going to give back to them as well and help others. So you guys been a huge blessing to me, and you guys don't give up because you could be the next one.
Yeah. Mike, let's move over to Mike. What you got, Mike? Thank you, Jill.
There it is. So I would say to everyone out there, it's going to get harder. Yeah, it's going to get a lot harder, but just don't give up. Continue to grind. We had affiliate that we work 7 days because that's what it takes. We've done that for 8 years really to get to this point, and it's not a lot of time, but it's a little bit. So inch by inch, it's a cinch. So after we got the grant from G.I.F.T, we had a stove that we're heating our greenhouse with right now, and it runs off of corn. And the person who made it drove down from Illinois, and he dropped it off, and there were several pallets of corn with that, tons of corn. So we had this corn in the greenhouse, and it was, these are 50-pound bags. It's a lot of corn, and I'm like, oh man, I'm putting it off because I don't want to move it. I'm like, we need to move this we have a 20-foot storage container, and we put it in there. So we burn it throughout the winter. So I'm not moving the corn. The corn's over here. One day we come in and a mouse had found the corn and ripped open the corn. The kernel's on the floor, right? So at that point, we're looking at it, and we know if we don't do something right now, at the tonight, that mouse is gonna be back in here. It's gonna tell his little mouse friends. They're gonna have a party in here, and it's gonna be out of control, right? So I told my boys, I said, we have to move all these tons of all this corn, all these tons of corn tonight to the storage container, and it's gonna suck. I told him, and it did, But we took these 40-pound bags, we put them in the gorilla cart, and we just kept doing it, and then we looked up, and I was like, "Where can you bring me some more corn?" He's like, "It's all gone," So, I would say, I guess the moral of that story would be, you can move more than you think. You can move a lot, and you'll be surprised on how much you can do. But when you get those big things, those things that you're dreading about doing, when you get those out of your way, then everything else will open up for you. And so, I think this is a great organization. It's a wonderful organization. And regardless of how you fill out that form, you live in your passion. You just put as best you can your story, and they'll find you.
Great advice, Mike. Great advice. I love to kind of hear what it sounds like from other people's perspective, because we see so many different facets of business. But even as I'm looking at everybody on the panel, I'm super excited for what's to come, but I'm so proud of y'all. I am so proud of y'all. This is, I think, for me, and I can say this having been exposed to small business and Black-owned businesses all of my life. My parents were entrepreneurs, but I think this is the best time for small Black-owned business that I've ever seen in my lifetime. There is support, there is access, there are opportunities, and we just have to be strategic about getting to those opportunities. And my prayer, my hope, my desire has always been that G.I.F.T lead that charge in access to capital, access to resources, but most importantly, access to support. Because Ezra said it earlier, Chef Ezra said it, it's the networking opportunities. We garner strength from one another, not just business, but strength as well, influence, opportunity, and advice. So super excited for y'all. Kudos to everyone on the panel.
Yep, definitely, for sure. Chef Ezra, you got anything you would like to share with word of advice?
I would just like to, I guess, just say stay resilient. Anytime the head of defeat looks like it's rearing its head, just try to overcome it. Stick to your guns and do what you do best, and keep pushing.
Yep, that's what's up. Um, awesome. So we're gonna get close to go ahead and wrapping it up. We'll close it out with our CEO, Mr. Brandon Calloway. Brandon, final words. What do we need people to do? Let's keep talk to us, man.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to make this long, even though I get long-winded sometimes. But so I also a word of advice for grant applicants. I wouldn't plan on doing this. Maybe I shouldn't do it, but word of advice
Yes,
for grant
we here
applicants.
now. Come on.
Yeah, right. uh, like Jill said, uh, one of that she felt like we saw her heart, and we did. We absolutely saw her heart, but we also saw her business, right? Like that it was a well functioning business, and we saw the three things that we in all of the panelists you see today. We saw how do they plan on growing and expanding and creating jobs for the community. How is it that they are actually going to use this $10,000 specifically, or this grant money, not 10,000. I think everybody here got 25. But how are they going to use this grant money specifically in a way that is going to help bring in more revenue? And so, as you're filling out these grant applications, I think ask yourself those three questions. How are you going to grow and scale and create jobs? How are you going to use the grant money? And specifically, how is your use of the grant money going to grow your revenue? And then for everybody else, including grant applicants and former grant recipients, like right now we're doing this as a way to kick off G.I.F.T's Impact Week, right? We're talking about the impact that we've had on the community. Again, over $500,000 given out. 40 different businesses that have received grants from us, 49 jobs created through that grant funding. And like I said a little earlier, when we get more, we do more, right? And so when it comes to us or our inability to say yes to somebody at a point in time, the reality of it is, if 15,000 people donated $10 a month, we might have been able to say yes to them right then and there. So instead of going off and turning your back on G.I.F.T or just kind of dismissing it, one thing that we need from people is to help us grow, help us actually get to that 15,000
Yeah, that's the
number,
point. Come on.
donating $10 a month, because with that, like you've seen the magnificent business owners that we have been fortunate enough, like we have been lucky enough to meet them so that we could give them this grant money. We want to be fortunate enough to do that for so many more people. And so please, if you are watching this, if you have friends, if you're a corporation, and you have the ability to sign up to become a monthly donor, please do, because we can guarantee that your money is going to, one, stay right here in the Kansas City community. It is going to actively go towards decreasing the racial wealth gap, and it's going to do that by going to Black-owned businesses in our urban core that deserve it, that can grow and scale and create jobs and really provide a better Kansas City for everybody. So that's my final message.
Right. Appreciate it. Love it. We got that donation link up. KansasCityGift.org. You can go search the webpage. We got some links that go specifically to our Impact Week. If you find that, donate that way. If you can't figure out a way to donate, you don't know how to do it, just email us at contact@KansasCityGift.org. We're going to mail us a check. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We need those donations, y'all.
I'll pull up on you if you need me to.
Yeah, we'll pull up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And don't minimize what that $10 means. Seriously,
because that $10 does have impact. I don't want people to misunderstand that $10 a month has impact
for real. All right,
lattes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you. We want to encourage you to also be on tomorrow as we talk to some of our donors for Gift. It's going to be exciting. So thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take care.